This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so want to welcome everyone to the October 25th, 2022 edition of Omaha, Carlentini, and beyond. And we are well represented from Omaha. Everybody that's in Omaha, wave, please. Good group of Omaha people. Okay, how many people are in Sicily? Sicilia, wave.
Oh,
I'm here. Hi.
Okay. Uh, Mexico, wave. Where's Pat in Mexico?
Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
What a big
Puerto
family.
Vallarta, Mexico, Mexico.
Mexico. Buenas tardes.
Get the picture.
Buenas tardes.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
Well, the group from United States is growing.
yes.
The one from
So,
Sicily.
Buonasera in Sicilia, Italia. And we have Thomas Rath, who's new with us, who is in Italia. Where in Italy are you right now, Tom?
Roma.
Roma. Beautiful Roma. Bella Roma.
Yes. Busy.
Okay, well, so, and you start the Overseas Adventure Travel Tour Group in Palermo tomorrow?
Correct.
And you will continue to be very busy.
Yes.
Okay, welcome, Carol.
Hi.
Now, your name is familiar to me, and you'll have to refresh our memories as to where you're at, Carol.
I have absolutely no Italian ancestry whatsoever. I met you at the genealogy meeting up in Conroe in Texas, but I lived
Wow.
in Sicily. But I lived in Sicily for 7 years, so in Catania.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
So I'm just saying hi and seeing what y'all are about and kind of curious. So
What were you doing in Catania, Carol?
I actually worked at Sigonella, the Naval Air Station there, and taught school there.
Interesting. We have an important military base close to Lentini, Carlentini. A lot of people in our city works over there.
Yes.
Before 2011, there were as high as 11,000 soldiers with families. Now they are quite less. I think less than 5,000.
Yes.
But
it's,
still an important place for us, for our income. Ciao Silvana. We will go a little bit Italian and English because there are
Ciao,
some people
Silvana.
from Sicily who are not familiar with English that much. We have Silvana and Enzo, and then Deborah, who speaks perfectly English from here in this moment.
Yes.
I know that seeing that Thomas is new and you are traveling, and I understand that your schedule will be busy. He will be my guest in 10 days, I think. And your tour leader, Davide, contacted me days ago, giving me some information. And I told him, look, the easiest way for him to find some information is to join us in our Zoom. And seeing that tomorrow you're going to come to Sicily, I hope that you will find what you're looking for.
So I have the notes that you sent me, Eleonora, and I'm going to post them in the chat log for everyone to see what Thomas is looking for. And that'll give us some of his background. I'm gonna put.
While
up-
you're looking for, in the meanwhile, I want to share with Thomas, for example, I met Betty Libby last week. She was a part of another OAT tour, and I gave her my card, and she joined us last week. And actually, we were so happy to find her grandma's act of birth, and even the. I'm sorry, I had the dog. We found the address of the place where her grandma was born, and even the castle where she was born. So we were so happy. And next time you're gonna come to Sicily, you will have a lot of things to do. Giusto per mentre Nick sta trovando queste informazioni, stiamo cercando qualche informazione per il signore che la prossima settimana sarà nel tour con me, Thomas. Lui sarà in un tour di OT della mia compagnia, e il tour leader, l'accompagnatore, mi ha contattato chiedendomi informazioni su Thomas e i suoi predecessori, perché sta cercando i parenti, e gli ho detto: guarda, la migliore maniera per poter trovare qualche informazione è quella di collegarsi nel nostro Zoom, in maniera tale da cooperare tutti insieme. Lui arriverà a Palermo domani, quindi magari gli diamo la priorità. E poi gli ho raccontato un po' la storia di Betty, che la scorsa settimana abbiamo trovato l'atto di nascita di sua nonna e anche l'indirizzo del castello dove sua nonna abitava, e anche lei era una mia cliente la scorsa settimana. Invece Thomas lo vedrò tra 10 giorni. I'm sorry, I went a little bit faster in Italian, but I said everything.
Ciao Deborah,
Ciao. Ciao.
non ti avevo
Yes.
visto.
Sì,
Tranquilla.
e poi con Deborah noi non abbiamo mai fatto forse ricerche genealogiche con te.
No, purtroppo no, non abbiamo avuto modo.
Ok. Vediamo se
Però
ci sarà.
si può iniziare quando vogliamo.
Sì,
Nessun problema.
Betty è stato un esempio la scorsa settimana, lei non aveva mai fatto e da zero abbiamo cominciato, quindi è sempre molto interessante.
È vero. Ok,
Sì.
va bene.
Poi abbiamo le monete di Enzo,
Già sono
Dobbiamo
pronte,
vedere.
tutte preparate.
immaginavo. And then after, so Deborah, she's new as well. And for the new people, as always, with Nick, we dedicate a little bit more time, above all when they haven't done any researches yet. And I was saying to Deborah that last week Betty was an example, because it was her first time as well, and we found a couple of info, even if we started from zero. So we have a good couple of hours, and usually we try to make our best. And then we have the little coin that Enzo collects about this Leontinoi that last week we were going to see, and then we said let's move this part about archaeology next week. So when we have time, we dedicate even a little portion of our Zoom meeting to Sicilian and Italian culture. There is also always something coming up. So Nick, are you ready? I was just entertaining.
Very good. You did a good job of entertaining me, I'll tell you that. So I put in the chat log some extensive notes about Thomas Rath, and
See?
also extensive notes about Patrick Todaro, or Todaro, as he says.
Zero.
Todaro. Sorry, Pat.
That's okay.
No, should be in
Todaro.
Italian Todaro.
Todero, no, si chiama con la E, visto? Todero.
Con la E
sono
Todaro
da-
anche.
Zero.
Carlentini ci sono,
We
si
have
chiama
our
Todero.
a live Facebook with Silvana, who has worked in the administration of the elementary school in Carlentini for a lot of years,
Vabbè, diciamo 30 anni.
30 years. So she knows everybody, all the generations. So she goes like, that's the right pronunciation.
We're learning how to speak our own names. That's the major
This is very
accomplishment.
helpful, because sometimes they obviously wrote them down in a different way. So Silvana knows which is the original version. Very often we have all the names that maybe we don't use anymore. And with the registers at school, she's excellent in this thing.
C'è un ragazzo a Carlentini che si chiama Todero, come lui con la e che ha un negozio di computer.
So
Ah,
I am going to exert executive privilege here and ask Carol, how do you pronounce your last name?
Shuff, like enough, rough,
Okay, Schuff,
shuff,
Carol
yes.
Schuff.
Mhm.
So we want to hear a little more about your experience in Catania. You were telling me some beautiful stories when we were visiting. So
It has been 20 years ago. 20 anni fa, I guess.
bravo.
Yay!
Ok.
Mi pare che Carol ha detto una parola
Bravo.
siciliana, stavo per dire qualcosa in siciliano. Mi
I forgot to
sbaglio?
say that the English lesson and Italian lessons are freely included in this Zoom meeting. So after Silvana understands almost everything in English, and now you will go back to your Italian. I hope
Oh.
sooner than soon, if you
My
join us.
Italian was horrible.
No, non è vero.
No, it's been 20 years ago. Yes. So I taught on the naval base. There's also a NATO base. So,
Sì.
but it was American kids, and we taught in English all day. But we lived in Catania, and our landlord had been the mayor of Catania during
Was
Mussolini's time.
Bianchi at the time? Was
Signor Di
Bianchi at the time?
Stefano
Mayor.
was his
20 anni fa forse era Bianco.
Bianco?
Può
Bianco.
essere Enzo Bianco.
Enzo Bianco.
Signor Di Stefano,
Bianco's
long
mayor.
time ago.
Interesting.
So
What
very,
an honor.
very interesting. We would pay our rent every month. And in his office, there was a photograph of his wife, the Virgin Mary, and Mussolini all together.
Addirittura.
Ha fatto un bel
Perfect
miscuglio.
mix.
Wow.
It was wonderful.
I said, Carol, I translate shortly. Allora, Carol ha vissuto a Catania 20 anni fa, lavorava per la base militare di Sigonella e praticamente ad affittarle la casa a Catania era il sindaco, e dice che nel salotto c'era la foto della moglie del sindaco, la foto della Madonna e poi accanto la foto di Mussolini, tutti in fila.
Allora era Spodopoleo a quel periodo il sindaco.
Foto Puleo, lei dice di
No,
Stefano.
a Catania Spodopoleo?
Spodopoleo mi sembra che c'era.
No, non lo so.
Vediamo, ora
Forse.
faccio una piccola ricerca.
20 anni fa, o Bianco, vediamo, non mi ricordo.
Sindaci di
20
Catania.
anni fa. 20 anni fa, però Bianco non penso che aveva Mussolini. A Catania ci sono molti di quelli di destra, moltissimi. Però non penso che Enzo Bianco era tra di questi.
Capagnini, are you sure di Stefano?
No, Scapagnini molto
No,
più.
Scapagnini is after. Anyway, we don't worry, it's not important. So what an experience, una bellissima esperienza. And did you teach it to American kids, right?
Yes, they were American kids, yes.
How many kids, I wonder, there were in the military base 20 years ago in your elementary school, I guess?
Elementary and high school, all 12 grades.
Okay.
Maybe 850, 900 students.
Mamma mia. 20 anni fa c'erano tutte e 12 le classi, dalle elementari alle superiori a Sigonella, e c'erano circa 900 studenti americani che hanno fatto le scuole lì. Tantissimi. Wow, there are a lot. There are so many.
Yes, but I don't know now how big the base is.
We have
molto grande.
So
we have friends working in the military base, so maybe we will ask them. Sì.
Okay.
Thank you.
Beh, anche perché la base
Any
militare è
other
molto
memories
vicina
that you want to share with us, Carol, about your time in residing in Catania, and how did you get back and forth between Catania and Sigonella?
Oh, we drove by the cemetery every day to get to school. And there was a rush hour twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon and in the evening. It was fine. It was an adventure.
And what about food? Do you remember something that you tried for the first time?
Well, skiing on Mount Etna.
Oh, okay. As activity. Nice.
Yes.
Le è piaciuto sciare sull'Etna.
Okay, let's go back to let's
Thomas?
see. Well, Pat was here first, and then Vincenzo. So let's do Pat for just a second here, and then we'll move to Vincenzo. I wanted to share my screen. I think I had something.
So nice, Mary Kay. Thank you for sharing. In the chat, you find the title of an interesting book that Mary Kay shared.
Questi sono I genitori di Franca.
Yeah, the parents of Franca. Let me. Oh, here we go. Dominic. Okay, so this is Pat's grandfather, Dominic Ferrazzo, and this is. We have multiple databases. This is the database that's from our friend Jim Beckman.
Should be the S. There is the S missing actually, because it should be with the S at the beginning. Yeah.
But this gentleman says Bofano. I'm not sure if that's the right place or not.
No, it's Boiano.
Okay, well, let me do this. I'm going to add this to my tree, and then I'll be able to edit it. Save to tree. And I think I had a little bit of a profile for him. The interesting thing about that you told me about him was that he had Popeye arms. Can you tell everybody what that means?
Oh, well, he worked for the Union Pacific Railroad. He laid rails and ties. So I don't remember him a lot, but I just remember he had the big Popeye arms from doing all that manual labor on the railroad. He didn't speak English, so we didn't communicate a lot, but he loved all-star wrestling, and he used to get mad at the bad guys on wrestling and cuss them out.
So is Mary your mom or your grandma or your aunt?
Mary was my mother, yes.
Mary's your mother.
So this was your father, right?
No, it was my mother's father. My grandfather on my...
Ok, allora stiamo parlando di suo nonno che andò anche lui a Omaha e che lavorava anche lui nella Union Pacific Railroad.
Ma è sicuro che il nome è giusto? O senza S?
No,
senza la S?
Secondo me l'hanno ritrascritto male.
Is this photo accurate for her?
Yeah, that's my mother.
Okay.
Probably
Beautiful.
1960s or something like that.
Oh,
But yeah, the
this
town
is
is
another
called
beautiful
Boiano.
picture.
The people in Boiano now use a J. They write B-O-I-J-A-N-O. But I always thought it was B-O-I-A-N-O. It's in Campobasso, Molise.
Does this name mean anything to you, Vilander?
Oh, that's my niece. That's Jerry, my sister Jerry's daughter. She's got all these photos.
Patrick,
So she's got good stuff.
Yeah.
did you say Mary? Was Mary your grandmother?
My mother.
Your mother.
Yes.
Well, Patrick, I worked with Mary at Penny's for years.
Yeah, Penny's, yeah.
At the Westroads?
Yes.
She was
Who's
a supplier.
Steve
Who's
Nebbia.
speaking?
Steve
Okay.
Nebbia.
Oh, yeah. She used to
Okay.
chase the shoplifters out to their car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, she was a hoot. I loved her.
And I'd say, Mom, what are you going to do when you get in the car? She'd say, well, they're stealing our stuff.
Yeah,
I'd say,
Yeah.
let them go, Mom, let them go.
yeah, I chased one or two of them in my day, but
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, she was a fun lady.
Yeah, she was pretty fun, and she couldn't drive, so she'd have me pick her up, and I'd wait at the one door on the south side for an hour while she was waiting for me at the
Oh, yeah.
east side.
No, she'd do that on purpose for you.
Yeah.
So it looks like your niece has her birthplace is Campobasso.
Yeah, I think that's the town is Boiano, the region. Yeah, region and area, and yeah.
Getting
So
closer
as
to
you can see, for those who are new
Yeah, there
in
we
this word, it takes a little at the beginning. Fortunately, in the last years, we have updated so many trees, so Nick can easily connect with other that are already updated. But it takes a while at the beginning to understand what's the right branch of the right family. Sometimes we have a homonymy.
Campobasso,
so
you're getting close to Vinci-Aturo.
So there's two profiles for Jerry here, so I'm just going to take the first one.
It's not far.
That area seems close to where my great grandmother's from.
That was my eldest sister, Jerry.
I think so too, Sherry.
Now, I don't know why, but my grandpa and my father pronounced our name Todero, but I have cousins that say it's Todero.
Todero.
Yeah, but we always say Todero. I don't know why.
Okay, so I am going to add you now, Patrick.
Okay.
Allora, ho
And you
trovato che
said your
le...
name was Patrick John. And what is your birth date?
12/18/52.
12/18/1952.
1952.
18 dicembre.
Allora, il comune che dice lui si chiama Boiano con la J.
Ah,
l'ho trovato qua, in provincia di Campobasso.
Okay, the city that we're talking about is in Campobasso and is written with a J rather than an I.
Cosa si vede? No, non si vede.
Boiano.
Ecco, si vede, adesso si vede.
Even if in Spanish it could be Bojano, but in Italian it's Boiano.
No, beh, ma sicuramente in Italia si leggerebbe Boiano.
So what is correct, the J or the I? I've seen it both ways.
Esatto, perfetto, così.
See, that's the J, the right Italian spelling actually.
Ha visto Bovadium?
Yes,
Oh, no, there is the I as well. Okay.
Bovianum.
Yeah, they're saying both spellings are correct.
I didn't know that. I thought Italian didn't have a J. But I don't know. Okay, so both are correct.
Here's a pretty picture.
Yeah,
it reminds me Sicily a lot as well. We have the habit to put the stones on the rooftop as well. Yeah, Molise is in the heart of the center.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah, and it's nice because you have the beaches and the mountains as well.
So Campobasso is this. Don't the Nebbias also have Campobasso?
Vinci-Aturo, sì. It is the head of the county.
Right. So it's Vinci-Aturo, Campobasso, Molise.
Hai visto c'è anche un comune che si chiama Ferrazzano.
What's Molise?
Province, I think.
Ferrazzano, però loro fanno
quindi Ferrazzo,
Ferrazzo.
esatto, Ferrazzano, insomma.
Potrebbe essere che viene da là.
Potrebbe essere qualcosa.
Perché noi abbiamo Ferrazzo.
Noi abbiamo Sferrazzo con la S.
Sì.
From the Polish village. Polish, it says.
So it's a
There is a Polish village of a
comune.
similar name, is what it's saying.
San Giuliano del Sannio, San Giuliano di Puglia.
It's a different place, though.
So,
So, okay, let's get back to the tree. So now if we look at Pat in the tree. Look in the tree view. And so we're getting some hints here for the father of Sebastiano. There's actually a picture here. And it says his name was Joseph Biagio
That's him,
Todaro.
Todaro.
Yes.
You got two different spellings of Todaro up there.
That's what I was just gonna say, so thanks, Bob.
I
Yeah,
heard that
both are
Todaro,
correct.
I heard it was changed once they got to the US. It was Todaro.
And so you have
Yeah,
piccolo. You
I
were
know
saying
it
this on
with the-
Facebook
with the
today
A.
that you have the piccolos.
Is it?
Oh,
So that would
piccolo,
be-
there are so many in Carlentini.
So that would be your grandmother, right?
My
Piccolo.
grandmother was Piccolo, and then let's see.
Ci sono un sacco di piccolo nel quartiere a Porticella.
Oh, ma anche vicino a casa mia, via Villa degli Abruzzi.
Piccolo.
La moglie di Alfio Caltabiano si chiama Maria Rosa Piccolo.
Ah, ok.
Piccolo, Randazzo, Sequenzia, Gentile.
Poi da casa Rosa Piccolo. Simile, proprio. Molto simile.
Okay, well, let's move on to Enzo now. Enzo, I
Okay.
believe you have some coins that you want to tell us about.
Enzo vuole che gli ci fai vedere le monete.
Lorenzo,
No, I don't see him. We can work on Thomas tree.
aspetta che ci sia.
Dov'è Enzo?
Non lo so, ci sono schermi.
No, we come to see him.
Collegate.
Aspetta che
I'm with the iPad, so I have to move the pages because we don't fix in one page. We're 25.
Sorry, I'm in the shadows.
Well, then I am going to go back to,
Aruzza.
I don't know what happened to Enzo. Oh, there, I see his,
35 33 60 09 89 86 27.
It's very smart this idea to tell you who is calling in the United States. We don't do that here in Italy.
I think that was Enzo that we were hearing.
Scusa. Ah, mi senti?
Sì. Ok. Enzo, ci sei?
Ah, sì, mi ero allontanato un attimo.
Tranquillo.
Sì, sì. Mi ero allontanato. No, mi ero allontanato un
Eventualmente
attimo.
se sei impegnato lo facciamo dopo. Metti muto.
No, non sono impegnato. Adesso sono libero. Scusate.
Ok.
Allora, mi sentite?
Sì.
Sì, ti sentiamo.
Allora, questa è una moneta di Carlo V. Carlo V.
Okay, let me spotlight him.
Carlo V è il fondatore di Carlentini. Sotto
So
Giovanni Vega. Si vede?
So this is a coin made by
Non si vede
Charles
tanto bene.
V, who made a Carlentini 1555 should be.
1551.
Ah,
Sotto
ok.
Carlentini. Questa è una
Ok,
moneta del 55.
1551. E invece questa moneta è del
55. Sempre sotto
1555. Ok.
Ah, ecco qua. Non so se si vede bene.
Ora sì.
Mettila più vicino.
Che poi si sfoga.
Quindi
Aspetta,
puoi
vediamo.
dire che hai una delle cose più antiche in paese. You are holding one of the eldest item in the entire city.
Infatti si vede là quella siciliana con sotto
There is
scritto
the Sicilian eagle.
Sicilia è 1555.
1555. Beautiful. E questa tu l'hai trovata oppure l'hai acquistata?
No, io le compro nelle aste.
I
No,
bought it. I bought it because I collect them, he said. Beautiful.
Questo è
Oggi il
Carlo V.
valore di questa moneta quanto si ammonta più o meno?
Sui
What's
600
the,
euro circa.
what's the value of this coin today? He said 600 euros, more or less.
E questo è andiamo in figlio. Questo è Filippo II, il figlio di Carlo V.
While this is Philip II, the son of Charles V. E questo è 1500?
58.
1558. That's the
Questo
year
hanno
of
un
this
valore
coin.
nominale da 4 tarì.
Eleonora, I'm going to show a picture that I found, and Enzo can tell us if this is accurate or not.
Ok. Nick ha trovato delle belle immagini.
No, questo è lo scudo d'oro di Carlo V. Questo
No, this
per
is
me, per
this
me è
is
qualcosa di
made in
raggiungibile.
gold. That's something that is more
No,
with a
questo non è
higher
sicuro.
value because
Questo è
that's
Carlo V
gold.
però per altri stati, perché Carlo V
This is
dominava.
Charles V, but for other places because he conquered a lot of places.
Questo è
in
Castiglia,
Sicily.
Castiglia e Leon.
And that's Castilla Leon in Spain.
In Spagna. Questo dovrebbe essere Carlo V per... non si vede tutto. Comunque non è siciliana questa, io faccio solo Sicilia.
He collects just Sicily.
Adesso vi
This is
faccio vedere
beautiful.
uno scudo di Filippo III, è uno scudo da 12 tarì. È una bestia di moneta. Queste sono spagnole.
Sì, those are Spanish.
Se
Però
notate
bisognerebbe fargli delle foto ad alta risoluzione e
io
poi
ce le ho,
condividi
le
con
foto,
noi le
però
foto.
non so come farle su questo gruppo le foto. Questo
In
è
caso
il...
ce le mandi su Messenger.
Ah,
Sì, sì, se le mandi sul Messenger a Nick, lui le fa vedere.
Mandale su Messenger a Nick se ce l'hai
forse
già.
non ce l'ho, Nick. Vediamo Nick.
Sì.
Nick ci manda.
Mandale a me, Enzo, che gliele mando.
Mandale a Silvana, ok. So
D'accordo,
he
gli
has
mando...
pictures high resolution. So he's sending to Silvana. We can see better than with the camera like that.
When did he start collecting?
Quando è che hai cominciato a collezionare tu queste?
Quando avevo 12 anni.
When he was 12.
Do those come from like a sunken ship?
Cominciamo con...
Are those found in the ground or in the sea?
Queste sono state trovate nel mare oppure a terra?
No, sono tramandate da collezione in collezione in pratica.
Sì, ma dove sono state trovate inizialmente? In un'area archeologica, per terra, sottoterra?
No.
Dove si
In
trovano?
pratica i collezionisti ci sono stati sempre. Sono state tramandate da collezione in collezione.
They have been passed from one collection to another.
No, perché quelle che si trovano a terra sono rovinate, queste sono...
Because the ones that we find on the ground are not in good conditions, while those ones, they have excellent shapes. Yeah. Okay. In the meanwhile, that Enzo tries to find a way to send the
Già ho
pictures
mandato
to
qualcosa a
Silvana.
Silvana, un video, non so se lo può pubblicare, il video di un questore di monete.
No, mi è arrivato un'altra cosa, Enzo. È arrivato un video di un'area archeologica.
Ah, non so cosa ho detto. Ah, quella... E sotto c'era un video delle monete, non so se stia arrivato. Ti sono arrivate le foto? Le foto
No,
Giragliela Nick su Messenger.
Ancora non mi sono arrivato. Forse il video ci mette molto tempo ad arrivare.
Some of you, can you guess the Sicilian accent when we speak in Italian? No.
Me.
I was wondering.
Yes,
but we have a strong Sicilian accent.
Is it a lot different?
Brava, Carol.
Yes. Ecco, è arrivato.
While we're working on that, I'm going to go back to Thomas Rath and we'll do a little search.
Adesso lavoriamo un po' sull'albero di Thomas e nel frattempo Silvana manda tutto su Messenger a Nick, così poi lui ce le condivide col mega schermo.
Okay, so let's see. We're going to search
Thomas,
for.
according to your program, when are you planning to find or visit if we find some grave or relatives or maybe addresses of houses that belong to your ancestors? So when are you going to visit those places?
So are you asking when I will be in Palermo?
Yeah, when during the tour, I wonder when can you have the chance? Will you have the chance to dedicate maybe a half day to see what comes out from these researchers?
That's my hope that I can. We do have a limited time in Palermo, but we do have some free time. My uncle, who Thomas Albano, he talked about I believe it was a museum with the Albano, what do you call it? The official emblem or
coat of arms.
Thank you. Coat of arms.
Coat of arms.
For Albano was on
in Palermo?
In Palermo at a museum. I was just curious if I could locate that. That would be satisfying.
Well, should be Museum of Palazzo Abbatellis. Let me look for it.
And also one of my curiosity was at some point in the past, I came across leather products that had the Albano stamp on it. And it would be fun to come across that again. And I'm assuming that I would find those maybe in Palermo because the Albano name is there. And finally, the other thing that I would, there. Well, that's
Okay, so
interesting.
this is a letter that was written. It just says Albano marriage. And it says, my dear niece and nephew, something your welcome letter last week, and I was really glad to hear from you. We are all pretty well, except my brother Sylvester. His feet bother him. Let's see. The Albano history. Albanos was a good family in Palermo, Sicily, Italy. My mother was from Ireland, Kings County. They were married in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I don't know the year.
Talking about, yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Talking about the family crest, online there are different versions. Let me see if I see my camera. They are all similar. And I will open one in particular because there is an explanation about the Heraldry Institute of Rome. And they are describing this. And it says in the description in Italian, ancient and noble family of Sant'Albano in Bergamo, from which it took its name, spread over the centuries in various northern cities. The coat of arms of the Albano family, whose coat of arms is noted in the main Italian and European armoriers and emblazoned as follows: split of red and blue, to the gold band crossing on the partition, accompanied by 3 stairs of 6 silver rays, 2 at the head and 1 at the tip. So this should be what you are looking for in the palazzo in Palermo that hosts this family crest. And it seems that it's a noble family.
So I am taking information from another family tree, Tom. And
Yes.
they had the mother of Antonio as Julia. They spelled it wrong though. It should be G-I instead of G-U. And
Al contrario, non è Giulia, Giulia. È come Fred che si chiama Luigi, invece è giudice.
And they have picked up that information from the letter that says Bridgeport, Connecticut as the place of the marriage.
Okay.
Racine,
What is
it's the place
what
of
is
death.
Siambra? If Palermo is a city, what is Siambra?
Palermo is the province, Ciambro is the city.
Okay, and Palermo then would be the
province or county.
Province, okay.
Yeah, Palermo is our even as well head of region and our capital because it's the biggest and most important city where we have our parliament as well. So it's the most important city of Sicily actually.
Okay.
Where all the most important noble families used to stay. And actually, now that I keep going with the researches, before arriving in Bolzano, this family, there is another family crest that is very similar to the one that we saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But this one comes from Spain. So the real origin is Spanish.
Hey, Nick.
Yes, Sheila, go ahead.
That letter said the mother was from Ireland.
Right.
I don't know if you gave him the right mother or not.
Yes, I have. I also saw that Ireland reference somewhere.
So this is the wife actually, and so she's County Cork, is what they're saying.
Okay, so she's the wife of him, not the mother of him. Okay.
Right.
All right. You were just moving, and I couldn't keep up with you fast enough. So
that's all right. So he was asking about the town of origin. So let's see what we can find in the Portali Antonati.
So it's a mix between your father or grandfather, Tom? Grandfather?
Who are we referencing? Who the person?
Those last two people that we saw, the one from Palermo and the other one from Ireland, are your grandparents?
So Thomas Leonard Albano would have been my grandfather. And yes, and he would have married Loa. That seems to be consistent from my memory of Grandpa Tom. And so I was a little boy when he visited. I remember his home was Provo.
What an interesting mix. Sicily and Ireland, both strong islands.
Yeah.
So we're not coming up with Ciambra as a place within the Palermo province. So my next
Ciambra? No.
My next thought would be to search the family search catalog, and if you go to Palermo,
Chambra maybe is an area, a neighborhood of Monreale, but we are talking about the city of Palermo.
Okay, so this is a list of places within Palermo province. And I do not see a Chambra.
It's not a municipality, an independent municipality. I think it's a neighborhood of Palermo. It's not.
There's a Cimino.
No, it's like to say town, or no, Boys Town or.
It was probably incorporated into the bigger city.
Sí.
Well,
That would make
within
sense.
Palermo, let's see, registration districts of Palermo. I think there is a list of districts.
I have never looked for them. I know some of them because I heard about it. Il capo, la
Allora,
casa.
io ho trovato che praticamente è una frazione che si chiama Villa Ciambra, la frazione di Villa Ciambra nel comune di Monreale.
Monreale, vero?
Sì, c'è scritto che è una frazione, è come Villasmundo che sto parlando lì. Questa si chiama Villa Ciambra ed è nel comune di Monreale.
Okay,
Provincia di Palermo.
Nick, look for Villa Ciambra in Monreale. But one word. Yeah, Villa Ciambra. Monreale.
So originally you had asked me for first name, middle name, and last name for my great grandfather, the original immigrant. So it was Antonio. It looks like a repetition. Antonio Albano.
Yeah, Antonio Antonino. It means that maybe he was Antonio in the city hall, but maybe everybody used to call him Antonino.
And we're looking at the Antonio who was born 3/17 or March 17, 1816. Is that correct?
Yes. In
Okay.
Ciambra, that doesn't exist. So Nick needs the geographical place to go on family search website, because on family search website, there are a lot of registers that are available that are already scanned, and we can take a look to act of birth, act of death, act of weddings, and seeing that they are so old, we are going back because Antonio Antonino Albano died on 1890. So that back, we don't have privacy restrictions or privacy rules. So it's easy to find that that moment, let's say, that year maybe, even if sometimes there are registers missing. Nick, you correct me if I'm saying something wrong. You're the specialist, but he needs the geographical place first. So that's why I was double checking with the Ciambra, because Ciambra is not correct. It's Villa Ciambra. So it should be Monreale.
Yeah, it's near Monreale.
Yeah, but I think part of
it's
the
still
territory.
Palermo province, and it's not coming up on the list of place names for
I think it's a very small place. It's like a Villasmundo. Villasmundo, but at least in Villasmundo there is the city hall. Yeah, it's a neighborhood.
we're
It's
seeing it
too
on
close.
the map, but we're not seeing it under the either the Portale Antenati or
because
so
is that
we're
small
on the
that
search.
maybe
So
Is it like a section of town like Dundee?
yeah,
or-
it's a section of town.
Okay.
It's part of the city, is part of the municipality of Monreale. It's just 2 miles far from Monreale. And
it is a frazione, but it doesn't say a frazione of what.
yeah, I found in Italian, it's part of the city of Monreale province, frazione. Yeah, I'm in the same website.
And this shows it's 2 words.
Oh, so it is a frazione of Monreale then.
Yes, it's
Okay,
a frazione of Monreale.
So
That's
then what?
You can go back to the Antonati in Montreal and look up the records.
Yeah, let's do that.
And
So,
Tom, you will be in Monreale on the trip.
okay, so what we know is he was born there in 1816, which is not promising in terms of finding
No.
a record.
Marriage record?
Well, he wasn't married until he got to the United States.
That's his birth record.
It would be his birth record, but
Yeah.
I've seen some places in Italy that have birth records before 1820.
so this is
Those would be church
supposedly
records.
his father.
No, it was on Antonati.
Doesn't give his death. His mother.
There are like 2,000 people living there, more or less. Yeah, it's like Villa Mundo. Yeah.
Hey, I just looked Monreal in Palermo on Family Search, and they have the church records online, and they do not have the key, and they go all the way back to 1500s.
Wow.
And
Okay,
we
so
can
let's
look at
go
it
to
now.
Family Search.
I think that this is the first time that we write down Villa Chambra on family on ancestry.com.
Okay, so search.
There are
Catalog.
319 houses.
Reale.
It's very detailed, this website.
And do the church records. Yeah, those are the free ones that are open.
And there is just one church in Villa Chambra, and this is called Santa Maria del Rosario.
Okay, so if he was born in 1816, we should find a baptism record for him right here. And notice that this is items 1 through 4 are the baptisms. So that might be important.
Those are no keys. So that means that we can go inside and take a look. And now Nick has a method to calculate which is the right page, because they're very big.
Okay, items 1 through 4, and it's film number 2189528. And magically they appear. Okay, so this says
Just the 1258 page, written with the hieroglyphics.
yeah, this is Latina. So
Elisabetta.
1799, and we're looking for 1816.
16, sì.
So let's go to the end and see what we're looking at there. 1, 2, 5, 8. Enter. And roll.
Non era la Bibbia, non era italiano.
So this was originally microfilm that's been digitized.
Look at the nice calligraphy that they had at that time. That's
Okay, so this
1824.
is 1824.
We should go back
So it's a
8
period of
years.
25 years. So 25 years, each year into 1258. So I get my little handy calculator here.
And now W07.
2, 5, 8, divide 2, 5 equals. So it's 50 pages per year. And we're trying to get from
Back for 8 years.
so it was 1799, and we're trying to get to 1816. So that's 17 times 17 equals.
Are we looking for 1816?
1816, yes. So
okay.
855. Let's try that one. That's pretty close. 1817.
Good job.
So what I did, people, is I took the number of images and divided it by the number of years, which came up with 17. And then I knew that we started in 1799 and we're trying to get to 1816. So that would be 17 years. So then I went and took 17 times 50 and it came up with 855.
That's
so
because you have
now,
experience, while maybe other genealogists that are at the beginning, that are beginners, they go page by page and it will take forever.
Yeah, you don't want to do
The index appears to be at the beginning of the reel on page 6, image 764.
764.
Good job, Monica.
That's the beginning of the indexes.
I'm
Okay,
impressed
so
by
this is-
all of your skills.
And then, yeah, and then we cover it simultaneously because, for example, Jim has a family tree with 40,000 people. So we call it our mother tree. When we don't find somebody, we use his tree. Dean, as another method, he has printed in the last 30 years all the trees connected somehow with his families. So that's another interesting source. And then there is Nick, who is amazing with all the website. And now when we open it, obviously is easier if we have people speaking English and Italian because we can translate it simultaneously, even if Nick understands everything.
We're looking for again.
Ciao, Sherry.
Yeah, the name we're looking for
she
is
left.
Antonino Albano. And if you'll notice that these are
March
alphabetized
17th.
by first name.
Right.
So
oh, not by family name.
Right.
Forget it. So it's March 17th. I'm sorry. So we are a family here.
It'll be in the beginning. March 17th?
Sì, March 17th, 1816 in Villa Chambra. At this point, we can change the date.
It should be one of the, if it's here, it's going to be one of the bigger ones, the beginning ones, because you were in 1816 on what page, 800?
Let's just do this. Let's go to this. All looks like index here. What is this?
Rilegatura stretta. Pagine illustrate.
Registry Parochiale.
The parish. Maybe nice if our priest will open us the doors of the church to let us do it the same. It will take
This
forever.
looks like the last page of the index. Maybe not quite the last because that's the S's. And
There's an albano in
then,
there.
let's see. It looks like we start with the actual records here. Sigue la settimana.
That's
Is it
May.
the correct
Paolo
one?
Bruno,
May
1816.
1816, so you really want the section
May,
before.
so 2 months before.
Yeah.
So maybe a couple of pages before.
Well, if it's a baptism, it could be 2 months after. You know, he was born in March, so it could be in May for the baptism.
So this is November 1815.
You're right,
Interesting.
Dean. Sometimes they
Usually
used
it was
to.
within days, though. It wasn't usually months.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes it could take months. It's true.
Yeah, I think it's more often days, though. I think Monica's right.
I see Rosaria Albano.
We do have the name of the parents, so you know we might want to be searching for all the Albanos.
Oh, we're
Okay,
24. We have a
So
48
okay, so now
eyes.
we're
49
this is
and not in the
January.
March 16th area.
We have a 48
January.
eyes simultaneously now. So it should be helpful.
January,
And
January.
January. A lot of people born on January.
February.
February 12th, 13th. Marzo, yeah.
Okay.
Caterina.
So according to what we have, he was born March 17th.
16th, 17th, I'm sorry.
And
Nick, can you zoom a little bit back so we can see how many people do we have in one page? No, less, so we can see them all. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
1, 2,
6.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Here. 1, 2,
Can you
3,
see them
4,
like
5,
this, or
6,
do you want it
7.
bigger?
Yeah, I think it needs to be just a little bigger for me.
Bigger, okay. So that's the beginning of March.
Yes. So let's just see how many pages there are in March, because this would be somewhere in mid-March, right?
Yeah, and plus this
1.
calligraphy is pretty doable. It's written in a nice way and we can understand, but sometimes are really
3.
worse than hieroglyphics.
4.
Allora, aspetta.
This says 18 March
18th,
here.
and Andrea, Giuseppa, Francesco, Giuseppa, Nunzio, Pietro. What about later?
Cosa stiamo cercando?
We are looking for Antonino Albano. Antonino Albano, quindi AA, Antonino Albano.
This is interesting because on the left it says 12 March, but on the right it says 18 March.
That means that maybe the person used to work just on those days and register altogether the kids born in the days before.
Può essere.
Let me see.
Ci sarà scritto da qualche parte qua. E qualche giorno sono nati.
I don't know if my iPhone goes back till the 1800. Oh yeah, it goes back till the 1700 and something. So we are
Rosaria
18,
Albano.
18, 6.
It's March 21st.
Oh, Rosaria.
So 1816 March.
24th of March.
The 16th, no, 17th, I'm sorry, was a Sunday morning. So for
This
sure,
looks like
it must.
repeat.
I'm sorry.
Same page twice.
Hmm.
We photographed it twice.
While the 18th was a Monday. So maybe the lady was working on Monday And then the day before was the 31st.
So now we're into April.
But 31st of March is a Sunday, was a Sunday. So it means that they used to be there even on Sundays, and then, I don't know.
So I think we need to do more research on this. Find out if we're in the right church here.
But what about if we found him? The info written on the right, what do we have as info over there? Agatino, Grimaldi, the name of the parents, where they were born. Fanciullo nato a.
This, I believe, is the priest's name here, Antonino Spinuzza. Something about a fanciullo,
A guy,
nato
a little boy.
the 8th. So this child was born on the 8th of April.
Sì.
Da
So,
Pietro e Grazia Grimaldi.
Grimaldi.
So what about March 20th? Did we
Il
see
supposto
those
nome,
pages?
il supposto nome è Agatino, no, Agostino. Infatti è qua Agostino Grimaldi.
So actually there aren't the addresses and the names of the streets, but for sure, Tom, rather than Palermo, that's another interesting tip, is Monreale at this point. Monreale has a different
Daliaca, I'm related to them.
Different municipality, different city hall, and for a lot of years was a separated cathedral as well. So they had their own their own bishop.
Bariaca.
So
Tom, you will be visiting Monreale on the Oak trip. You will get to Monreale.
Yeah. You will get there. You will get in the beautiful, magnificent church. So at that point, you can ask Davide to. Guys, turn off your microphone, please. So you can ask Davide to let you stay there a little bit longer. Let's try to look for some other info. For example, this is the only one who was born in Palermo.
One of the things that's helpful is to actually go to the Family Search wiki and research wiki, and oftentimes you'll find articles that mention specific places.
Villa Chambra. Now we know the real and true geographical name is that small. When we should put Monreale, because it's a neighborhood of Monreale, a section of the.
Faglielo scrivere staccato, Villa Chambra.
Sì, ma online l'ho visto in alcuni siti unito, in alcuni siti staccato.
Infatti, che prima era staccato ai tempi del 1800.
So it says you can select a frazione.
Where? View images in this collection by visiting the collection browse page. Select comune or frazione.
Quindi possibilmente se selezioni frazione riesce la frazione.
Fraction, you say in English?
Mhm.
Fraction.
Which is a neighborhood. Same in Mexico.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
we are getting closer. I feel it. Registri ecclesiastici. Sclafani, Sclafani, Sclafani. Santa Maria, San Martino. Eventually, okay, this is the Monreale, the one in pink.
This is the one where we were. And these
Okay.
are all the ones you could choose from.
Montelebre, Prizzi, Rocca, Santa Maria la Reale, Roccamena, Santissimo, Sagana, San Carlo Borromeo Terrasini, Santa Maria delle Grazie. Allora, la parrocchia di San Maria Santissima del Rosario.
So here's one that says an index. Index of baptisms, letters L through Z.
So actually, Tom, you are looking for your grandfather if to know if he had other brothers or sisters, and in this way you can find the descendants, right?
I think just for general evidence of Albano in Palermo area.
Okay, so I found the telephone number of the only church that we have in Villa Ciambra. So if your grandfather had siblings, I'm sure that in the church there are the traces of those people who get married, who get baptized, who passed away. Another let's say thing that you can do is to ask Davide to manage a taxi for you, and I will give you my telephone number tomorrow when I will finish with my OAT group. I will call the church and I will try to talk with the priest, asking him about your family, your story. And if I know something, I will give you some other news. So in this way, the day after tomorrow, when you will have Monreale, you can take a taxi from Monreale and go to Villa Ciambra. And maybe being able to find an address so you can see the building where your ancestors used to stay, because this is really a small section of the city of Monreale. There are 900 houses, maybe less, I was reading earlier. There are totally 319 buildings, homes, totally. So I hope I'm sure that in a place where in an area with 300 houses, all the families, they know each other. But it surprised me that your grandfather family was in that area rather than being in the city center of Palermo. But maybe they received some land, or they owned some properties over there, because in the past that area was beautiful, was countryside. And then after the Second World War, now is full of buildings, and they started the city started growing, and the cement has swallowed all the trees, and no more agriculture like in the past.
Sure. So what was is no longer.
I'm sorry?
So what was in 1860 has changed
I'm
quite a
sure
bit.
it was a beautiful, at that time it must be a beautiful area planted with citrus, oranges, lemons, and prickly pears, and all the people working the land, making a lot of money with the big harbor of Palermo. If Nick, you go on Google and you write down Villa Ciambra, you can see the position is exactly inside the valley the so-called Conca d'Oro. In the meanwhile, Nick is still looking for us. La Conca d'Oro of Palermo. Let me show you some pictures. Vediamo se abbiamo delle belle immagini.
There's Antonio Albano, Rosario.
So Tom, look at this picture. In the flattened part, that's the city of Palermo. You see a section of the hills, and then you can see the sea as well.
Is that correct?
So let me tell you what we're looking at right at the moment. This is an index of the 1815, year 1815, and then it turns over to 1816. And these are the
Albano,
A surnames. And this
Antonio.
is Albano, Giuseppe Antonio, Di Pietro, e Giovanna. Does not give
Giovanna is
the
the
last name
mother.
of the mother, but it gives her first name. So we are looking for
all the mothers, so they have just the first name.
At least according to this one, it says Giuseppe and Julia, that he was born 17th of March. So, but okay, so this is day, month, year. So 1816, month of March. And we see Agnello Albano Rosaria was born on the 25th of March.
Daughter of Antonio.
Or baptisms. So this is when Rosaria was baptized.
I think you need to look later.
There's Benedetta Di Gaetano, and then
Anselmo, Abate. They are not written in alphabetical order, are just with the A.
No, I think they're in date order, but.
Okay, that's why. Sì.
So this is well into the month of
Albano Pietro.
January 1817. So Albano Giuseppe, Domenico, Pietro, Antonino, and Ninfa.
Serafina,
No, Giulia.
And Antonina. Yeah, we're not seeing a Julia.
We are sure that the name of the mother is correct, right?
Well, no. I mean, this is just what somebody stuck in their family tree. We have no idea where they got it.
Because at this point, I think that it could be that lady could be the mother.
Have you seen any Giuseppes for the father?
Antonino. That's why when I asked Davide to ask you, Tom, the names of your parents, grandparents, because sometimes we have homonymy and it's harder to find the right person if we don't have the name of the parents of the person that we are looking for. So we should go back to your great grandparents that I guess you don't know, right?
If I have his naturalization record, and it says that he was in 18.
Why don't you show it, Monica? Can you show it?
Okay. Well, let me share screen.
You're getting bored, right? I know. Oh, in the naturalization.
And if I do the math right now, there it is. If I
Allora,
do the math
praticamente
right,
non-
that makes his birth date in 1815. If you
Okay,
take
so
the
yeah,
day of his
49.
citizenship, if you take the 64 minus 49, that's 1815. So we just might have the year wrong even as well.
It could be as well. You're right. This
So
is
I'm
on
picking
Ellis
up-
Island.
I recognize the witnesses. That's one of the documents I have is his naturalization papers with those witnesses listed.
Do you have his petition for naturalization that has more detailed information on it?
It wasn't, at least from my perspective, it was very difficult to read. So not a whole lot of information other than
Well, in
just repeating,
1864, I doubt if there was much information, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now in 1815 and I don't see it either, but this is 1815. And let's just make sure. Yeah, 14 is here.
There's Giuseppe
15.
Albano here, the father.
Where?
Right here.
We saw
Going up.
several father. I'm sorry.
Going the other way. Right there.
Okay,
Wait a minute. Yeah, Filippo.
Giuseppe and Carmela, though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But you don't know.
Anselmo,
You
Anastasia.
know the mother for sure.
Well, okay, so I am going to stop sharing. And I'm going to excuse myself for just a moment and talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. So at this point, I think that
Eleanor, you saw your twin. 60 years from now, that's going to be you. Remember that?
Where did you see it in the registers?
60 years
Okay.
from now.
Eleonora,
see, Meg, dear.
I have a question for you and Silvana. So I've been working with Nick on finding family that I met in Carlentini. They, Nanfito, they go by the first name Concept, but we use
Concetta.
Nick's, we use Concetto in the United States. So is Concept the same name as Concetto for a first name?
But we don't have a concept in Sicily. We have concetto. Ciao, Jeremy.
My cousin said her grandfather
Deborah was one of the interpreter during our meetings and our days in Carlentini. So
Emma, this is Emma and Massimo Nanfito. Their grandfather was, she said his first name is Concept Nanfito. And Nick said it translates into Concetto.
I found
maybe concetto. Probably it could be concetto.
No, concept in Italian.
Meg, I found that they would use in the Latin records and church records, they would use Concepcion, and that would be the same thing as Concetto in the civil records.
Okay.
Yeah, we have concetto, concetta, sometimes more modern.
Perché in genere chi nasceva l'8 dicembre veniva chiamato Concetta per l'Immacolata Concezione, perché è il giorno dell'Immacolata.
Yeah, is related to the December 8th of the Immaculate Conception.
Well,
Thomas, before you go away, just write down your email on the chat, please, so I can reach out to you tomorrow when I will call the church in Villa
How do I do
Villa
that?
Chambra.
Villa Chambra.
See, so because you have all our information, but I don't know how to go back to you unless Davide gives me all of your info.
Okay, how do I do that?
Or if you want, I can write it down just on my notes if you want to tell.
Sure.
There is, yeah.
Are you ready? TJ? T as in Tom? J as in James?
See?
115.
15.
Yeah. Rath, R-A-T-H.
R-A-T-H.
At
Yahoo.com. Okay, I'm going to send to you an email now. So if there are mistakes, paste. I'm going to say just hi. Perfecto. So the family is growing, as we say.
I'm going to say goodbye. You good luck to
Carol. It has been a pleasure to
You're
have
doing
you
a
tonight.
wonderful
Grazie.
job. It's very, very.
Thank you for coming, Carol.
Okay. Ciao. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao.
I
Ciao.
also want to say,
Thank you for joining us and have a safe trip
Eleonora,
tomorrow to
Eleonora,
Palermo.
devi dire a Nick che io ho mandato tutte le foto delle monete e ci sono anche dei video sul Messenger, però lui ancora non li ha visti.
Tom,
Quindi-
anytime you will be more than welcome here, and I hope that you will find what you're looking for while you are here in Sicily.
you've been more than gracious. Thank you very much. Ciao.
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 Actually, it has been the first time that I've met an OET traveler before you arrive in Ragusa. Ciao.
Ciao. Le riceve.
Di solito, che belle queste foto, meravigliose.
Sono
Look
stupende.
at here, bravo Enzo. Guarda.
Accidenti.
Sono dei video che pubblico nei gruppi di monete più che altro.
Ok, e quindi questo qua in particolare, ma sono tutte diverse.
Cambiano le date più che altro. 611,
611, 612.
613.
È
C'è
una
anche
bellissima.
l'audio. 613, rarissima.
C'è l'audio, devi dire a Nick se lo può aprire, così si sente anche la
Can you open the audio as well?
612.
609. Sicilia.
Solo Sicilia. Io faccio solo Sicilia.
Enzo, ma come venivano fatte queste monete? Venivano battute oppure c'erano degli stampi
Avevano
dove si facevano colare?
Due punzoni, facevano sotto e sopra al martello. Infatti venivano chiamati battute a martello, mal tagliati più che altro, perché poi non è che avevano una forma, li tagliavano con la forbice. Queste
Ma
sono
era un metallo e argento?
Sono tutte argento.
Sono in argento e l'argento veniva lavorato in maniera tale da non rimanere liquido, quindi si faceva raffreddare un
era
po'.
solamente... Questo è un quattr'odari di Filippo II.
E qual è il significato dell'aquila?
La Spagna.
Enzo, ti ha chiesto che significato ha l'aquila.
Questa è l'aquila siciliana. Queste venivano coniate tutte a Messina.
Perché those are made by Charles V, our Spanish king.
Ah, Carlo V.
El Carlo V che conquerì, come si
Felipe
dice?
II.
Conquistador.
El conquistador.
El conquistador, esatto.
El fundador también de Carlentini en el
Carlentini,
1550.
No me jodas.
1211. Questi sono...
Se viene Carlentini te le facciamo vedere dal vivo queste monete.
Tú sabes que aquí
sono tutti
Carlo V también.
Questi sono tutti pezzi della Drettarì.
Allora, guys, those are beautiful, and Enzo was explaining me what they are all made in silver, and the silver was put in little molds, and there was another molds on the top, and with the hammer they used to give the little details, and then they were cut with scissors, like when the silver, I'm sorry, was still soft. So that's why they are not very well, the shape is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And our territory has started making coins since the Greeks. Last year, Mayor Stefio gave to Mayor Stoddard the original copy of the Greek coin of the
Questi sono rarissimi, questa serie qua.
7th century BC.
Un 12 tarì, 6 tarì.
12 tarì is the biggest one. One tarì, con cosa si poteva comprare con un tarì?
Ci campava una famiglia una settimana.
With one tarì, an entire family could sustain itself for 1 week. So 12 tarì was 3 months of salary. Enough to let everybody eat at home.
Questo è sempre Filippo II.
Con 12 tarì ci campavano 3 mesi, quindi.
Con 12 tarì potevamo comprare come terreno.
Ah, they could buy even a land. Ok. Interesting. Molto interessante.
Molto interessante.
Talking about the interesting things, I would like to ask you guys, have you ever heard about a museum of Italian roots, Italian origins in Naples, Florida?
No.
Because today one of my guests told me that when she's going to go back home, she will give me the address and the info about this museum. Oh, Salvatore Nanfitò.
Da Carlentini il 1 febbraio 1921.
Calzolaio. It's very hard to see. It's very hard to see two things in this identity card.
Pensa che mio papà era
born in Carlentini. Now we don't see
febbraio del
that
21.
anymore.
Ho 4 anni più di mio padre, più sicuro, magari si conoscevano con mio padre, sicuramente.
This guy was 4 years older than Silvana's father.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe they knew each other. So it's very hard to see born in Carlentini and to see calzolaio as profession nowadays, as shoemaker.
Ha visto che c'è scritto segni particolari
Claudicante. Sì, dal lato sinistro. So this guy didn't walk very well. He used to miss the rhythm with the left leg, let's say. I don't know how to say this word in English.
His children said he died.
Claudicante significa che zoppicava.
He died at a young age.
I was limping from the left leg.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say, Maggie? Died what?
Quindi questo è il tuo papà?
So his children are Maria and Antonio, and they speak no English. And all I got from them is that he died at a young age. I don't know. I'm trying to find out what year he died, but I don't know yet. His wife is Maria, and her maiden name was, I believe, Vasile, Vasile.
Yeah, Vasile.
Maria Vasile. La moglie si chiamava Vasile.
The wife, Meg.
Salvatore. And then, Nick, I sent you the information on his father, on Salvatore's father. That's his father.
Oh.
This is a half of the identity card. Nato a Carlentini, civile, coniugato, nazionalità italiana.
Quindi la mamma, diciamo, la mamma
always in via Bixio, Ronco quarto numero 9. Always Bixio
Ronco
Street.
quarto numero 2.
Wow, to be those years, he was very tall. 1.62 was pretty tall. To be the end of the 1800. Per essere la fine del 1800 era 1,62 m, era alto.
Era alto, certo.
Abbastanza alto, quindi.
Sì.
Comunque,
Capelli
Vasile.
brizzolati, occhi cerulei, segni, nulla. So, capelli brizzolati means salt and pepper. Occhi cerulei means that they used to change with the weather. So green, gray.
No, Eleonora, cerulei erano gli occhi azzurri proprio molto chiari.
Cerulei, no, it's not blue. It's not blue, cerulei.
I thought that cerulei is when they change with the sky.
No.
Pensavo che gli occhi cerulei sono quelli che cambiano col cielo.
Allora gli occhi cerulei erano proprio quelli azzurri molto chiari.
Ah, very, very light blue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, cerulei is like cerulean. It's like sky blue.
È appunto
Sky
blu
blue?
come il cielo.
Yes,
Il cielo
cerulean.
sì, blu come il cielo, perché il
I
cielo
have always
è
used this
ceruleo. Visto lui che sia
adjective.
spagnolo, forse questa parola è simile allo spagnolo.
Sì, può essere.
The blue eyes are kind of rare for Sicilians, right?
My grandfather had blue eyes.
Mine, green eyes.
My great-grandfather had blue eyes.
Okay.
Sì, ma in Sicilia molti hanno gli occhi azzurri perché sono di origine normanna. Mia mamma ha degli occhi proprio molto azzurri.
So
Così, come
these
dice lui, cerulei.
out, Nick, how they're related.
Well, it says that is a very rare color of the eyes.
No,
It goes from the blue to some shades of green, it could be.
Sì, sono quell'azzurro molto chiaro. Particolare.
My Italian English dictionary says it is translates to cerulean, which I've never heard that word before, but
I have
cerulean.
Yeah, cerulean is a blue color. It's a sky blue color.
But in Italian is even synonym of changing. So it's the eyes are changing.
Oh, the darkest
del sole.
Guarda che significa del colore del cielo sereno, specialmente se riscontrato in una breve distesa di acque o nell'occhio chiaro di un nordico. Quindi quell'azzurro proprio nordico. Questo è il significato.
Ok, ma nel sito dove poi dice ceruleo infatti è anche usato come sinonimo di cangiante, quindi spesso si tende a pensare che ceruleo indichi per l'appunto i cosiddetti occhi cangianti, occhi che sembra cambino colore quando si trovano in determinate condizioni di illuminazione. In realtà il ceruleo indica il colore di cui sopra.
Mi dice colore del cielo.
Blu, ok, sì, sono gli occhi blu.
So I'm going to transcribe some of these dates for Nanfito Antonino, because one of Meg's questions is, well, how is this guy related to me? And so he is the son of Salvatore and Vasily Maria.
Basile.
Allora, la mamma di Laura, capo di casa, si chiama Basile. Sai che non siano parenti.
But tonight Laura is not with us.
Sì, però la mamma di Laura si chiama Basile.
Born, not 12/1.
I have to tell you, while you're looking for Nick, I've received my homeworks for the winter. Are letters.
Okay, let me spotlight you so that we can see what you're showing.
While you are...
Here you go. Spotlight. Okay, there you are.
I received the pictures and letters to be transcribed. They're written in Italian. There are so many. So this will be my winter passion, let's say. If you have things like this, those are not the original ones, obviously, are just copies. They have been photocopies, you know? So I will work on it.
Can you scan them or take pictures and send them to me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
It's part of the family of of Teresa Garro Gutierrez.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's the family of Teresa, and they are very nice. Oh, this one, for example, is easy. Cara sorella.
Vuoi parlare al telefono con me, devi fare i seguenti.
Sì, they are so cute, oh my goodness. No, sono troppo carine. And then there are weddings announcements. Pictures. Queste cose sono bellissime. So I hope to inspire you to open the drawers maybe during Christmas holidays and just take pictures. Maybe nice to collect them and one day use them for the proposal of the museum, if you agree. Obviously, we don't want the originals. So maybe a nice way to share time with your families during Christmas. So there are so many. Sorry, Nick, I interrupt you, but I was thinking, that's another picture. This one I shared.
It's not an interruption. Everybody needs to contribute, so I appreciate it.
This one I shared it on Facebook, and then we found the relatives. And then Omaha, Nebraska. If those favors could talk. Omaha, Nebraska and Carlentini.
Via dello stadio.
Sì. Obviously, I don't want to share people's businesses, but there are some even from Villas Mundo, so it's going to be a nice bel malloppo.
Io penso che mia mamma ne ha tante di quelle lettere.
Sarebbe bello se...
Perché con mio zio si scrivevano almeno una volta ogni 2 giorni. Era una corrispondenza continua.
So
però non so se le ha conservate.
I will translate them, io le tradurrò e poi gliele darò alla famiglia di Teresa, and then I will give them to Teresa's family so they can have memories over here as well.
Eleonora, prima di chiudere vorrei chiedere a Nick se mi mostra di nuovo oppure se me le manda tramite Messenger l'ultima genealogia che mi ha fatto, perché c'erano i nomi dei parenti viventi, li vorrei cercare su Facebook.
See, Silvana, she's asking, before we end up our group, she saw that recently you made a new genealogical researches or on her family tree, and can you share it with her, because she saw that there are some alive people and she would love to look for them on Facebook.
Okay, sure.
Even on Messenger when you get time. It's not something to do right now.
Well, I'm not sure why I'm not seeing my screen here.
And
too many notes, I guess.
And then I can't wait to be in Omaha. It's gonna be 6 weeks. We will make a biscotti. We're working on it with Sarita. Is there Sarita still here? C'è Sarita qua? She left. In Sons and Daughter of Italy. So if you will be available, I would like to share dinner or lunch with you, above all from the genealogical group. So let's talk on like privately. I don't have so many things scheduled yet, so I'm pretty busy. I'm pretty free. I'm not pretty busy, I was saying. Allora, nel frattempo Nick.
Okay, Silvana. Okay, so we're looking at the children of Michele Riggio. And Rosa was the oldest. And she married Belfiore. And they had Frank, Paul, Mary. These are all mostly dead, I'd say. But I had an obituary of Paul, and it listed his children, one of which was deceased. The other appears to be living. He was married twice, so there's actually another child down here that's living. So when I find things, this says Robert is living in Avon, Connecticut, 181 Stagecoach Road. So if you want to write letters to these people, that would probably be, I've tried, to find them online, and I'm not finding them online on Facebook or what have you. So probably the most direct thing would be to just write them a letter.
Meg, you come back again, we host you, and we stay here, we knock to the doors. Hey, did you know this person?
What we need somebody that lives over in Avon or New Britain area to be our agent.
We have to go to New Britain as well.
But yeah, my son-in-law has family that lived around Avon too.
I have family in Litchfield, Connecticut.
Oh, really?
And Westport, Connecticut.
So Litchfield, Connecticut, you say?
Uh-huh.
I don't know where that's at. So I gotta use Google to do my searching because I'm not impressed with Bing. Well, let's see here. Google. Litchfield. CT. And a map. That's what I like, a map. So here's Litchfield. Oh, just outside of Hartford. And it's just right here. And then Avon is right here. So yeah, it's in the neighborhood. So who do you know in Litchfield?
Oh, my cousin it's actually on my mom's side. We're probably going there next spring.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, I posted it, but this whole stretch from New Haven to Hartford is like Italian Alley. This is one of the most densely populated areas for Italians in the country. Betty, are you still with us, Betty?
Yes.
Don't you have a Connecticut connection too?
That's
I was thinking about you.
My father's family's in New Haven. I lived in Hamden. Cousins in New Britain. Wallingford is in there. So yep, that whole area.
Providence, Rhode Island's pretty dense with Italians as well.
That's just right here. Interesting. And I would have never connected Connecticut with its beans, but there was an article about what was the where was the greatest concentration of Italians.
What is White Memorial Conservation Center?
What'd she say?
Ciao Deborah, stai andando via?
Ciao, ci vediamo la prossima settimana, al prossimo appuntamento.
Ciao cara, sei sempre la benvenuta.
Ciao Deborah.
Grazie, la prossima volta.
Ciao Deborah.
Ciao
Bye.
Ciao.
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 So, okay, so Silvana, what I'll do is I'll just go through and maybe send you some of the addresses for these people.
Ho fatto una foto. Ho fatto una foto col telefono della schermata.
Ciao
Però
Patrick.
però mi pare che c'erano altre persone, oltre a questo qua, questo del fiore.
So are you sending me a photo or am I supposed to send you a photo?
Non ho capito cosa hai detto.
Gli stai mandando, scusa Silvana, gli stai mandando a lui la foto o la
No,
stai
no, no, no.
condividendo la
Ho
foto?
ho fatto io la foto della schermata, non sto condividendo.
She took a photo of the screen, but
Con i nomi di Belfiore, eccetera.
with
Però
all
oltre
the names of Belfiore, but now she's not finding it.
Però
Yeah,
lui la volta
I'll
scorsa mi ha
I'll put
mostrato,
the information.
Ciao Gioia.
mi ha mostrato lo screen, il video di tutta la famiglia Riggio, e c'erano altre persone oltre a questi Belfiore, figli sempre di altre sorelle.
Silvana, ma lo trovi su Facebook?
No, l'ho visto su Facebook, ma mancano proprio le persone che cercavo, quelle... Sì,
Ho capito,
l'ho visto.
sì, perché io
Mi mancano...
so-
I figli non si vedono in quella schermata che c'è su
Ah,
Facebook.
ecco, sì, sì, sì.
There was a Riggio and Nanfito. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I've got, the time is 3:53 in the central time zone of the United States.
Maybe
And so
nice
that means it's 10:53.
Maybe nice if it was 3:53 over here as well. Having the whole afternoon.
Are you sleepy?
No, I slept in the afternoon. I took a nap. A siesta.
Just a little tired.
Hai fatto la siesta, pure io un po' di siesta oggi.
Sì, dalle 4 alle 5.
Io vengo stanca dal lavoro, per cui mi viene proprio il sonnolento.
Ma tu lavori di pomeriggio il martedì, Silvana?
No, no, io non ci vado a pomeriggio. Io lavoro però dalle 7:30 alle 14:30 passate.
Wow.
E quindi arrivo stanca a casa.
Silvana
next
works
week-
from 7:30 till 2:30 p.m. every day, so pretty a lot of hours.
Yeah. So next week I am going to be at a hotel in downtown Houston. My wife will be attending the International Quilt Festival.
Ah, bello, bello. Mandaci le foto.
That's a
Mandaci
huge
le foto.
festival.
Yeah, it's the largest in the world.
I used to play at a restaurant downtown called Andalusia Tapas, and it was right down next to the George R. Brown, so we'd always have people come in that were in that festival.
Yeah, all the ladies.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Robin made it.
Yeah, my wife Robin made that.
Oh, bellissimo, è molto brava.
And Silvana, she has the same.
Beautiful.
The emblem of California, the orange papa.
State flower of California.
Mhm. So nice. Maybe one day we will organize a laboratory here in Sicily.
Allora, il primo quilt, diciamo, è nato in Sicilia. E mia mamma era
Silvana
una
keeps saying the first quilt was born in Sicily.
Mia mamma era una di quelle che faceva i quilt siciliani. Che
My
era
mom
famosa,
was one of them.
è la cuttunata, detta in siciliano. E aveva i colori della Sicilia, perché da un lato era giallo e dall'altro era...
And it had the color of Sicily. On one hand was yellow, on the other hand was red.
E dentro si metteva il cotone che veniva coltivato in Sicilia.
And inside they used to put the cotton that was cultivated in Sicily. In Sicily we had cotton, silk, and maybe in Palermo some who went around with guides knowing the trees. Maybe they point out the so-called kapok that makes nice orchids. And then in the winter there are bubbles they open themselves and there is this fluffy cloud of white cotton that comes out, but it's called kapok. It's not exactly cotton.
C'era un signore che portava i sacchi di cotone, i sacchi grandi di juta pieni di cotone grezzo, e in mezzo c'erano anche i semi del cotone ancora. Io mi ricordo che poi lo prendevamo.
Oh, Silvana remembers when she was a child that those people selling cotton on the street with the huge big bags in Utah. Is it correct to say in English Utah? No, Utah is a state maybe for you. It's not a fabric. It's like a linen, but it's raw. It's not that nice.
Una tela grezza, è una tela grezza. Che serve per mettere quando si raccolgono le olive, per esempio.
Utah, the coffee, for example, bag, Utah bag.
Burlap?
Or muslin? Maybe.
I don't know, maybe you have another word for English, but Utah, Utah borse, Utah sacchi. The coffee was made in those bags.
Burlap,
Like
coffee beans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we would call that burlap.
Beans.
Burlap.
Così erano i sacchi molto
How do you
grandi.
call it in English?
Burlap.
Burlap. B-U-R-L-A-P.
And burlap. And inside there were the seeds as well.
Quando Nick è stato a casa mia, io ho portato una di queste cose per farla vedere a Robin.
Nick and Robin, they saw.
Che mia mamma ne aveva una ancora vecchia.
They saw one of that, that the curtain that her mom made. In che anni? Negli anni 50?
Ma fino agli anni 70 ancora si facevano.
She used to make them till the 70s.
Sì. Poi basta.
Oh yeah.
Cioè sono Ora vi faccio vedere quello che ho fatto io invece per Omar.
Un po' più
più indietro, non si vede bene.
No, Silvana, si è tolto l'immagine, non c'è più.
Ecco, per questo non si vede.
Oh yeah, that's why you couldn't see it.
Adesso sì.
Oh, she prepared this arazzo, like a tapestry for
L'ho
Omaha.
regalato a Omar, l'ho regalato a quelli di Omaha.
Ah, you gave it. Yeah. For when we were in the hotel the last evening, I remember.
Sì, Santa Lucia, Silvana.
Sì, questa è Santa Lucia. L'ho stampata con la mia stampante a colori dell'ufficio.
È già Omaha.
C'ho qualche medaglietta di Santa Lucia, io faccio pure le medaglie devozionali.
Ah sì, bravo. Io invece mi diletto a fare i drappi di Santa Lucia da mettere nel balcone.
That's already over there. Okay, so see you next week.
For next time, what does anybody have any show and tell they want to get on the agenda for next time?
Dobbiamo fare qualcosa.
Well, I don't want to monopolize the agenda with the topics, but there are so many things that we were talking about. And maybe I will have to look for the book that Mary Kay shared earlier about the letters.
Yeah.
And then I would like to keep you updated about what's going on in terms of goals and projects, and we will have a meeting with all the interpreters over here as well very soon, and the principals of the schools. And I have another thing today. A family called me. They would love to host a girl from United States over here, around 20-25 years old, for minimum a month, as up to 3 months. So if you know someone who is interested, they're a friend of mine, and we can talk about it. So a lot of things going on.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to call it a night and say ciao tutti, buonanotte.
Ciao tutti.
Buonanotte.
Ciao.
Buonanotte. Alla prossima volta. Ciao.
La prossima volta. Ciao.
Alla prossima.
Alla prossima volta. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao a tutti.